road trip to Abeokuta right now. Actually, I am the worst person to even be going on a road trip right now because I feel so sick. So like, let me just go to Abeokuta, let's go and see Olumo and a lot of other things. Like, I heard that the longest pedestrian bridge in Nigeria or sub-Saharan Africa is in Abeokuta at Pansheke. There is a wildlife park. There are just a lot of, the Adire market. And also, I was thinking if time permits us, we might even get to the Alakes Palace. I'll see you in Abeokuta. Okay, guys.
I begin to
So beautiful people, immediately we got to Abeokuta, I made sure to find my way to the Pansheke Bridge. This is allegedly the longest pedestrian bridge in Nigeria, which I am sure of. Now they call this bridge the Bridge of Confusion. Guys, can you just see like what is going on here? I don't even know if I should be impressed by this or not. They call it the Octopus Bridge, the Bridge of Confusion. People always say like if you come to this bridge and you get down without getting lost, especially for the first time, it means like you are still in charge of your destiny. I think they said it has like 4 to 5 exits, 6 exits, and this bridge was actually built in 2018 by the Ogun State government, led then by the former governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, around 2018. And it was said the purpose of the bridge was to reduce accidents and traffic. To be honest, if you come to this road, like there is just a lot of interconnecting roads, so I wouldn't really blame. But this is what the bridge looks like from top view. Like you can see it from above really clearly. As you can see, it's like an octopus, like it's just here and there. So I'm about to just climb on the bridge now and see how far I could go. And guys, let me tell you the truth already, I didn't really do so well. I got tired already because literally I got confused too. I remembered like I was asking, please, where did we take to come up? The bridge is just everywhere and it's like going nowhere. So just see how it goes, and hopefully if you come to Abeokuta, you have to just walk on this bridge. It's quite funny, but you have to. Okay, he has more than maybe like 10 or 5. It's unnecessarily long and big. Well, the traffic in this area is actually a lot, so I think it makes sense. Can you guys even hear me? After finding my way down from the confused bridge, it's time to go to the famous Olumo. I know a lot of people would have actually heard about Olumo as it is one of the oldest tourism sites in Nigeria. But on our way, we passed through this Adire mall, and this is where they sell these Adire patterns, the beautiful dresses, the ones that are already sold and the ones that are not yet sold. This is like where you get the most beautiful African fabrics in Abeokuta. So this is the road that leads to Olumo. Let's go. Mayo, 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 my tiny voice. So guys, we have actually gotten to Olumo, and I just looked at myself. First of all, what was I thinking? I'm wearing like a big skirt. I'm wearing heels. and you're supposed to climb mountains. So I'm going to need to go and find slippers, even if it's Dunlop slippers to buy, because I know I can climb it with the heels though, but since it's all there's staircase. But you know what, I think I need to find slippers. But guys, look at this. I got the ticket for Mr. Abeokuta and I. The tickets are 1,000 naira per adult. Guys, I didn't change my slippers, so the place where I can get is actually far from here. So I'm going to climb with my heels. Like, it's not like that high. So now I'm going to climb like that with my big steps. So before we get up, let me tell you the quick story about how Olumo became this amazing tourist attraction site in Nigeria. So Olumo is considered to be an historical monument and a symbol of Egba people's unity. Around 1830, during the Oyo Empire, the Egba people wanted to take their, independence, and there was actually a tribal war back then. So they wanted to, they were being oppressed, being depressed, and they wanted to have their independence. So they moved away from Oyo to this area. So after settling down in this vicinity, the Egba people, which consisted of 4 families, was not really big enough, and that's when the Dahomey people waged another war on them, thinking that they are a little family, and the Dahomey are known as the Republic of Benin now. So back then, when the war broke out, the people at Egba again went to Ifa to ask how can they overcome this war, what are they going to do, confused and not really sure what they would do. Back then, one man, a great hunter and farmer named Adagba, discovered this place. So this place was in a thick forest back then, so only people that are fearless could actually reach it. But when they went to ask Ifa, the oracle, Ifa told them that if they want to survive this war, they have to come and hide under this rock. Following the Ifa's instruction, the Egba people took refuge under this rock, and that's how they stayed safe. Now, when you're on this rock or under this rock, nobody can see you hiding behind the rock or underneath it. But if you're on top of the rock, you would see everybody. So this was the tactics of the Egba people, that they could see their enemies whenever they are coming close, and their enemies could not see them, and that's how they took out their enemies. Now, after the war subsided and people were able to come out, whenever they saw the Egba people, they were like, where did you hide? How did you do it? And the Egba people would say, we were at Abeokuta, meaning we are under the rock. And that's where the name of the capital of Ogun State came from, Abeokuta. And also, after the war subsided, the Egba people went to ask Ifa, can we now go down? Can we go back to the city? And Ifa said no, they should continue to stay here. And that's why the name the rock Olumo, saying Nibini Oluwa fi wahala wa mosi, which means this is where God has ended our sorrows, our fear. According to the pronunciation, Olu could stand for God and Mo could stand for molded, meaning that God molded this Olumo rock. This is a rock that God molded by himself. So this is the story you need to know first about the history and how this rock came to pass. Now let's climb up and see, the passing days, how people really lived under this rock. Now, one amazing thing about Olumo is one of the tourist attraction center that the government actually invested in Nigeria. So there is actually a 125-step staircase to get to the first landing of the rock, which makes our journey easier. And on this day that I came, there were a lot of kids because it was the Saturday, a day before Easter Sunday. But finally, we are on the first landing ground of the Olumo Rock, and this place is called Lisabi Garden, named after the great warrior, farmer turned warrior, Lisabi Akala, who fought tirelessly for the independence of the Egba people from the hands of the ancient Oyo, and that's why the garden is called Lisabi Garden, and it is named after him, even though he also have like a day dedicated to him, Lisabi Day, but that's another story entirely. So this is our first landing, and you can buy your palm wine, you can sit here and rest first before you get on the next journey. Then our next stop, after climbing a little bit again, is going to be at the shrine of the Olumo Rock. This is the shrine where the sacrifice is made to the rock. At this place, the sacrifice of a big black cow is offered to the rock by the king, the paramount ruler of Egba land, and the chief priest, which are the only two people that are allowed to enter the sacrifice room, while the other Egba people say amen outside. The king and the chief priest prays for the prosperity of the country, the safeness, the prosperity of Egba land, and it is also believed that it is because of this sacrifice and the prayer that they have not recorded any casualties on this Olumo Rock. No one has actually ever fallen from climbing here. Another major thing that would attract you is the tomb of the late Chief Sonny, who was the OC of the Toko community as at then. The OC is the chief that sits at the left-hand side of the king, and he died around 1956. But back in those days, when a chief died, he is always buried behind at the back of his house, which is why he was buried here, because the Itoko community is just right in front of the Olumo Rock. Now, if you remember the story I told earlier, you know that they said the Egba people hid under this rock. So this is exactly where they hid during the war, the Egba war hideout. This was the apartment they used to live in. It had 5 rooms, but the other rooms are dilapidated and they just have one room standing. And these holes in the rock on the ground were where they cooked their food, their grinding stone, how they pounded their yam. There was no mortar back then or blender to blend pepper, so this is where they use. So now we'll be going to the last room standing in this place. There were total of 5 rooms back then, and this is what the room looks like. Guys, look at this. They built it with mud and it stands till now. Some of us really get excited when we see things like this, don't we? Now time to climb to the top of the rock, which was not really my exciting part because your girl was wearing a very, very big skirt and her heels, which I actually definitely took off. So I'll see you at the top, guys. Guys, this was actually the scariest part of climbing this rock. This little space here, like we couldn't even film it because there was a lot of things that could go wrong. But actually, your girl did it. I jumped the rock, I jumped to the other side. In fact, I became a motivational speaker self. I was giving other people hope because a lot of people gave up at this side.
There's staircase there, don't be scared. Go back. Finally. This is scary. Oh my god. And apparently I've been here before. I've been okay. Whoa.
So immediately we got on top of the rock, I just had to sit down and relax. It was really tiring for me with my scared die, which was really funny. Like a lot of people were looking at me weirdly, but I guess this was how my ancestors wore it, so they are lost. But yeah, like the story said, the Egba people could really see everybody from here. You could see the whole town view, the whole city view from top of this rock, and that's why they could actually see their enemies before they strike or they attack. And I don't think their enemies can see them from on top of this rock. So this is literally the end of it. Up here there are actually people that sell foods like snacks, ice cream, water that you would drink up here. They even have POS, so don't be scared in case you do not bring your cash.
Mayo.